am, first of all, recording, wow, 8:30 in the morning. Recording on 2 separate cameras to see which one works better. So yeah, and then we'll kind of, take it from there. But yeah, I'm gonna give you a little beauty tip too. It is 8:30 in the morning and I've completely lost my shit. I'm wearing a dress, I have hoops on, and my hair isn't even brushed, so obviously it's not working, but it's cool. We got this, right? We will be out of lockdown soon. Don't worry, guys. But wash my face, took a shower, and it is powered by coffee right now, okay? All right, I'm gonna be making hamburger buns today. My sister was craving hamburgers yesterday. I don't think she had it, so I'm gonna make it for her. All right, so obviously we're gonna start with the ingredients. I will link everything down below because your girl can't memorize the measurements of all the ingredients, okay? But I will kind of go and tell you about each. We're gonna start with your flour. It's just all-purpose flour. It's gonna be a lot of flour. I think this recipe, it's my first time making it. It calls for a pound of flour, so that's about 16 ounces. But that is a lot, so you can always have it, So we'll see, but we got some mouths to feed, so I kept it at 1 pound. You have your dry or your active yeast, right? So this one I had frozen, but it doesn't, get hard or anything like that. It just kind of stays cold, so that way the yeast doesn't die. But just make sure that when you are taking it out of the freezer, you're letting it come to room temperature, so it kind of warms it back up. And then that way, when you do mix in the warm water, which is what it activates and it feeds off the sugar that you're about to put in too, then it will help your dough proof, like it'll help it rise. So I'm gonna put in, and Linda, I'm showing the ingredients, all right? You see it? Yeah, you happy? Okay. So we're gonna put in the yeast, okay? And then we're gonna put in I'm just gonna dump everything in. It's just, I don't have time for all that because I gotta go, okay? I'm late for babysitting. I have warm water. Make sure it's not super hot. The temperature has to be like 110 degrees. So you know what? Do yourself a favor when you're allowed to go out, or if you just, want to shop online, go to Bed Bath & Beyond, buy yourself a thermometer, okay? Use that 20% coupon that we be getting in the mail like every other week. Matter of fact, here, buy this shit too. It's a scale. It will save your life when you're cooking, when you're baking. If you don't have like measurement tools, it's actually a lot more accurate, there we go, with a scale, especially when you're baking with things like this. So you have your warm water, which is going to help activate the yeast. Then we're also going to add in 1 egg. We have our, let's go with this. I have salt and I have sugar. So with the salt, okay, normally when you're baking or cooking, you should be using kosher salt, not like the smaller table salt. The reason is, so kosher salt is bigger flakes of salt. What you're supposed to do actually is when you pick it up, you're supposed to crush it in between your hands, and you're kind of squishing the salt flakes, and making it more fine when you put it into your food. But my parents don't have kosher salt. They only have regular like table salt or like these little grinders, right? So what you're gonna do is just use half of that. So whatever the recipe calls for, this one is 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I just used about like 3/4 around there, just to kind of balance it out, because table salt is always going to be saltier than kosher salt. Factoid of the day. You're welcome. So salt and sugar. And then you have your butter. So I have, I don't even know, but melted butter, okay? All right. You know what though? When I used to watch videos, I used to hate when people don't scrape the insides out, but I get it. It's mundane. Like, who wants to see someone scraping a bowl out, right? But you know what? You're gonna watch it today. We are in tough times, people. Gotta scrape every little last bit out. Lick it too. Just kidding. Okay, and then you're gonna have some oil too. I believe, I'm looking at my notes, like a teaspoon of olive oil. I normally just eyeball it. It's not really a big deal. Just don't go heavy-handed. All right, you're gonna have like an oil ball then. I just do like 1 turn of the bowl, depending on how big it is. And then you have 3 tablespoons of milk. So I got really excited and poured too much, and I knew that, so I'm just measuring it out this last little bit. All right, so now you have your bowl. It's gonna look like this. My yeast is already activating from the hot water. So what I'm gonna do is just stir it until it comes together, because what you're gonna have to do is actually get down and dirty, girls. All right, you're gonna have to knead that puppy. If you don't have a stand mixer, which my parents don't have one, they have like a hand mixer, which you can use it looks like a spiral. You can use that to knead the dough, but honestly, hands are always better. You can't go wrong, you know? Now, as you're mixing it, it's gonna look kind of like flaky, like this, right? Don't worry, it will be okay. You're gonna keep stirring, and you're gonna have to go by feel. So some days you're gonna have to add a little bit more water. Some days you're gonna have to add a little bit more flour. Why? So it actually depends on the weather. So if it's gloomy and it's raining or whatever it is, obviously it's gonna be a bit more humid, right? So your dough may be a little bit more wet. So even if you use the exact ingredients, it never turns out the way you want it. You know, just like life, it's okay. You know, you just gotta go with it and hope for the best. All right, now it doesn't have to be perfect because you're gonna be kneading it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna use the don't know what this is called, the palms, the intersection between your wrist and your hand, the middle ground, whatever, this thing. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of knead it out. So you're gonna use both your hands and push it, and just keep going like this, right? That's all you're doing. So you see it's gonna be sticky. So my dough is right now a little bit too sticky. So what I'm gonna do is add some flour. And what you want to do is always add like a tablespoon at a time, because then you're just going to end up going back and forth between dry, wet, and I don't think you have time for that. And you're going to end up with like one massive like dough ball, and you know, you don't need that much like dough. So you just want to keep going. And what you're going to do is you're going to knead it for about like, I want to say like 10 minutes or so or something like that. But if you do have a KitchenAid mixer, that's going to be actually really good, because then you don't have to worry about it, right? But I think the fun in it is actually, yeah, really getting down there. So just a reminder to make sure that you floured your surface before you actually start kneading your dough on there. Now you don't want that. What you want is like a smooth dough where you can like just smack it like a booty, okay? And then you don't want it to be too sticky either. So this right now is still like a little bit too sticky for me, you see? You don't want that to come off on your hand. So we're gonna keep kneading. Take a little break, oh my gosh. All right, keep going. Okay. What time is it? Ooh, all right, now, just enjoy making it. So you see how it's now like coming together a little bit better, right? This is actually pretty therapeutic when you do this. There's something about it where it's like, you don't have to use any brain power, you know? And you just kind of go. But again, when you put it in your machine, it's gonna be a lot easier. I figure it's a workout at the same time. Which, by the way, I just want to say, you guys know I love working out. I finally squatted past my body weight So I'm really excited. I went to 1:45 yesterday. I kind of felt it this morning, almost fell out of bed, but it's fine. It's so worth it. And of course, I have another workout session today with Linda. Okay, so now look at the dough. It's getting a lot more pliable, right? And looks a lot better. So what I'm gonna do is keep going. I was gonna say I'll take it later, but I can't do this later with the kids. Gotta do it now. Oh, it's quiet. Okay, so now this is the progression. Okay, so it's looking definitely better, right? Oh, update on my butt. It is definitely a lot better. Yay! So it's been like 2 months now since I fell, and yeah, I still have like a bruise, right? Like a very slight bruise, but you can see it. Obviously, you can tell it's somewhat like discolored. And I still get pain if I sit down for like long periods of time. And I get like random shots of pain up my back, which is so weird. But you know what? It's okay. It wasn't a fracture, it was just a really bad contusion. So I would just say thank you to my lucky stars and move on from it. And Ashley, we were supposed to go have lunch or brunch together in a week. I'm so sad. And we could have gone back to our favorite Indian spot. Go with the dough. So what I'm gonna do is I actually have to wrap it up and take it to my sister's. So as soon as you're done with the dough, so say that it's like all like jangled like this, right? So put it on the ground, makes it easier for yourself. I'm gonna put it up here. Just fold it in on itself from the sides. What this does is it's gonna help create a really firm, smooth ball. And we like firm and smooth, right? Now look at that. You see it doesn't stick? So it's only slightly tacky. So now look at how smooth it is. All right? So you know it's ready. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna oil the bowl, like really just, it's just a light, super light dusting of oil, if that makes sense, because you don't want it to be just in a pool of oil. You're gonna cover it with, I'm gonna reuse my plastic wrap because the apocalypse is happening and we have to save what we can, right? As I'm like running the water while I'm brushing my teeth, but you know, priorities, right? What I meant to say was use a plastic wrap to cover the bowl. You're gonna put like a dish towel on top of that. So that way what happens is the warm air, it gets trapped inside and it's gonna help the yeast kind of do its thing and it's gonna double in size in about 2 hours. So you definitely wanna make sure, you can actually just put it in the bowl, right? Stick it in your microwave. Those places are gonna be your best bet because they trap they trap heat, okay? And it will really just make your dough go, yeah. Show you how to oil the bowl. So you take like, let me see if I can even show you. Like literally that much. Oh my gosh, let me be a YouTuber for a second. Yeah, like that's it. And just kind of coat the bowl, you know, spread that shit around like this. And then you're gonna put the excess on your dough. I mean, you don't have to do the bottom because it's gonna get it from the bowl anyways, but you know, I'm OCD. I like my shit even. All right, look at that little ball, right? Yeah, okay. So you're just gonna pick it up, put it in your bowl so it looks like this, and then use this little here, this little wrap that I used earlier, so it's like 3 pieces in one here. Don't tell anyone I use that much wrap. And then, all right, so at this point, the dough has risen for about 2 hours. There was no need to punch the dough down. You can actually just start taking portions. I would do around baseball sizes, and you're going to neatly tuck in the sides and pinch the bottom in order to form a nice firm and smooth top of the bun. Then you're going to start to flatten it out to form the actual bun shape. Once that's happened, you're going to place it on a prepared baking sheet that has parchment on there and lightly dusted with flour. You're going to let it rise a second time for about 20 to 30 minutes. Then you will take your prepared egg wash, which is just egg and water combined, and brush the top of the bun along with the sides as well. This is an option where you can add sesame seeds. And if you want, you can push the seeds into the bun so that way it really sticks to the bun while it's cooking. And it will look like this before going into the oven. This here is midway through and getting some color until finally you reach that light golden color. And the inside is super fluffy. I also ended up making mini ones for my niece and nephew. All right, those are my hamburger buns. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye.